listening to her speak 2 different times in these videos were very different. The first one, you could tell she was more new to speaking, and the second one, you could tell that she had more of a grasp on what she was doing and what she wanted to portray to her audience. So I do think that coaching helped her a lot, and it shows. Specific examples would be during the first one, she stumbled a little bit, and her transitions throughout that speech was not good. It was just kind of all over the place. She went from like very serious topics to very fun topics and crazy things, and it wasn't a good mesh from the funny moments to the serious. It just switched back and forth really quickly, and that didn't sit well. Also, because she was bouncing around so many different times, it was difficult to find the main points that she was trying to convey to her audience. And she started rambling a bit because of this. I didn't really see how these different examples connected in the first one. She used like places of origin to create a scenery for her audience, which I think is a good idea, but because she had so many different places, I didn't really see how those places and what she said that happened in those places all connected. There was a lot of little topics. Instead of just staying on one bigger one and branching out to little ones, it was kind of more of little ones that she tried to connect together, but it didn't really connect, in my opinion. And then her slideshows that she used, it was just basic words. There wasn't very many slides. It looked gradient, and it didn't look good. It didn't make much sense with what she was saying. A bit of the jokes and funniness throughout was probably a bit unprofessional, and she had ums and ahs throughout, and some of the language was not as professional as it could have been. Compared to the second one she had, there was much better graphics and slides. Even the beginning, like, drawed the audience in. There was interesting music with the transitions and how she went from different topics. She used more detailed words in the beginning to grab her audience in, which I think is very effective. And she, instead of just using different stories and trying to push them all together, in the first one she combined 2 stories to create a big picture and used her overall experience to help that big picture evolve. She used herself from her job and talking about conflict resolution into her daily life and throughout her job to explain to her audience. And she also used an experiment to show her point, and she talked with the audience to prove that experiment point, which I think helped a lot to gain the audience attention and prove her point at the same time. It made it a really well speech. And she stayed on track way better than the first. She used sources throughout her slideshow and speaking to back up her as her proof. And she used a lot of repeating words to reiterate her topic, and pauses to help it set in with the audience. I would like to use myself as an example throughout my speeches going forward, and using emotion to pry my audience in, and also using my audience to show the steps of a topic. I think it would help a lot.